Get started. If anyone has any trouble with the audio or visual, just send us a note there in chat and we'll try to help out. Okay, so let's get started. Great. Okay. Welcome everyone to the session, to today's session where we're going to go over some killer website analysis. My name is Dave Hyman. I work with the Similarweb Ed team, the education team here at the company. In today's session, we'll cover a few things. We'll cover how to run an effective website analysis and how to reveal the true growth opportunities from the data. We'll also drill down on the insights and understand how they can impact on your business. For today's session, Galia Sofer is joining me. She's one of the customer success managers.
Hi everyone, good to be here.
Hey, thanks for joining. And obviously, just like any webinar, if you have any questions throughout, any thoughts, if something is not clear, or if you do lose any of the audio visual, just send us a chat. Our team here is on hand and we can definitely help out. We're looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I wanted to do was just go over a little bit and talk about expectations for the session. We're going to start with how to prepare for a website analysis. What I mean by this is what kind of prep work do you have to do before the analysis actually gets started. We'll then go over the 3-step guide for how to run a killer website analysis. And these include, for analyze, we want to understand how to analyze and use the data to discover the site reach, engagement, and traffic sources when running the analysis. But then we want to compare. That means that we want to look for competing companies, that we can look at their data and understand how to evaluate what they've gained and see if we can use some of that insight. And third, we want to look at benchmark. And we want to understand how to use the data and compare the site performance that we're looking at with that of the industry. In the end, we're going to sum things up, look over the insights that we've gained. And really what I think I'd like to see is I'd like to see everybody be able to walk out of this session and actually be able to run a killer analysis. So we're going to go over the tools that are necessary, and then we're going to set you off and let you guys run free. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into things. When we're doing an analysis, the analysis is going to take many different shapes and sizes. That means that sometimes we're doing analysis for one reason or another reason. We're trying to get different types of information out of the analysis. It's always important to know what you're looking for, and then that way you can determine the right path in taking the analysis. And I say this because within our company, probably if we ask 3 or 4 different executives what's the best way for them to run an analysis, we might find 3 to 4 different ways until we understand, well, this analysis is being run for a researcher, this analysis is being run for a business intelligence or a lead generation. That'll let you learn the best path. Basically, before I start an analysis, I want to learn 3 things. All right. First of all, I want to know, what is the website goal? I want to know, are they looking to get more sales? Are they looking to get more leads? Is this company looking to increase their affiliates or their research, their end reach? Who's going to gain from the website analysis internally within your company? Is it an online marketer? Is it a business researcher, a publisher, an analyst, etc.? And then third, obviously we want to know, what is the need for the analysis, right? Are you trying to get market insight? Are you trying to learn in competitive intelligence? Are you trying to get a general website health check and understand if a website that you're comparing yourself to is generally healthy and performing well? Just I should mention at the bottom of the page here, I've added in a little light bulb for this is kind of the summary for what each page is going over. Today we're going to walk through the process of how to run a basic Similarweb analysis. and then we're going to reveal the insights that are gained. But before getting through to that process, I want to know a few things about the company that I'm going to analyze. So you always want to go and check out the website and understand the flow of the website, the goals of the website, and understand what is the journey that they want this user to walk through. Then I'm going to use a few tools to also just do a quick analysis and understand who they are. I'll obviously check Google. A lot of times check words in Google Trends. I'll use things like Crunchbase to see, how much money this company has, how much they might be investing into marketing. And then I discovered something, I don't know if everyone here is familiar with this pretty cool little tool called Internet Archive. What that does is it lets me look at the website as it's progressed through time. This company has basically taken screenshots of websites over the past 3 years, all over. And basically what I do is I pull in a website and then I'm able to see what that website looked like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So when I'm running my analysis, if I see a spike that happened 2 months ago, I want to first go back and understand, have they changed something on their website that's had them had stronger engagement, reduced bounce rate, etc. So let's go over the 3 steps again when we're talking about that killer analysis. First of all, what we want to do is we want to analyze. That means that we want to familiarize ourselves with the website. I want to learn about the website's reach. I want to learn about their traffic patterns, and also I want to know about their traffic sources. Then I'm going to move over to compare. I'm going to take my competitors and do the same process. I'm going to look at their competitor reach. I'm going to look at the competitor traffic, and then I'm going to also look at the traffic sources. In other words, how are they drawing traffic in? And this within Similarweb, I think all of you are familiar. This is under the traffic sources section. And the third step is benchmark. Okay, we want to benchmark the results that we get and see how do we stand within the industry standard. Now that doesn't mean that we need to follow industry standard, but it's always good to know what's happening around you and be aware. Okay, first let's go over and let's take out analyze. The first step in the process, what we want to do is we want to use Similarweb Pro to discover a website's reach, their engagement, and the leading traffic sources. Now to do this, I thought to kind of tell you all a story and look at a website to work with. The website I'm going to go over is a company called Casper, Casper.com. Basically, as a company, they were founded in 2013. They are actually listed as the first sleep startup that's come across. And to understand a little bit about their traffic, they get today 1.2 million visits. That's of date from October 2016. Their geographic breakdown is primarily US, and we can see that they get a little bit of traffic coming in from Canada and the UK. And within Similarweb, we have the industry analysis. We're listing them under shopping furniture category. But now let's go ahead and break down and understand a little bit about this company. I should send out a poll now and see if any of you are familiar. This is they're a hot little company that's out there. So let's take a look at the initial analysis that I'm going to do for Casper. First of all, I want to look at the main menu bar, and I want to understand, obviously, if we want to do an overview analysis, I'm just going to take this first option under Website Analysis and click on Overview. And the navigation bar is used to pull different resources from the Similarweb data. Okay? You'll notice here that there's, throughout the page here, there's a small plus sign. This is a fantastic new feature that came out. A lot of customers wanted to then save an analysis and look at it later. So once you press the plus sign, what it does is it saves the report in the Similarweb main dashboard. The date filter lets you choose between the different date ranges that you want to cover. In other words, last 28 days, 1 month, 3 months, rolling all the way up to 24 months, and then a custom range for specific months. And when looking at the charts, you can always decide if you want to look at these charts based on a daily, weekly, or a monthly basis. Super important when you're trying to find out small details and you want to really peel back that onion and understand where that actual spike came from, that's where you're going to use the daily results. Obviously, you can download everything. I'm looking here. Download all these reports, I think everybody knows, in PNG or Excel if you want to use these for a board meeting or just to pull out the data. So let's go ahead and take a deeper look into Casper. I'll tell you the things that I definitely pulled out here. First of all, I'm looking at Casper, and first thing I want to do is I want to understand what's going on with their desktop and mobile split. I can see here that it's more or less 50-50. We have 55% compared to 45% coming across. I can also see that their traffic remained relatively consistent over time. I'm looking here at a one-year period. So it remained relatively consistent. They increased in traffic for sure, which is good, but it's been relatively stable coming across, and we have this one peak that we're going to dig into a little bit. The other thing that I like a lot as far as that health check is we can see here that traffic increased from the desktop and the mobile simultaneously. So their marketing has been doing a good job making sure that they have an equal representation for mobile and they're supporting their mobile customers. We can also look at the engagement stats in running this general health check, understand the average visit duration, pages per visit, and then the bounce rate. And just check this out. I kind of put the bounce rate here on the side under binoculars. If I am Casper, I definitely want to check that out and understand, well, is that a high bounce rate? Is that a low bounce rate? For me, it's a little bit concerning when I have a number close to 50%. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at that a little bit later, obviously through industry analysis, and we're going to be getting to understand what is the industry standard. Let's check out their traffic sources, okay? So this is also under the website analysis tab within the main menu bar. From their sources, we can see the culmination of traffic sources, and we can also see the breakdown. Now, the culmination is covering different leading traffic sources: direct, mail, referrals, social, organic, paid, etc., display ads. We can also see how traffic was distributed over time. Okay, so we can see here how traffic has increased or decreased per different traffic source. Super, super important. What my eye immediately called on to was look at this spike, everyone, right here that we can see here in August. Strong spike that they had for social. And not only that, but what worked out well for them is when the spike actually came down, and most of the time you'll see a spike come up and then start to die back down, we can see that it didn't drop back down to that original level. So they did a great job in getting this campaign straight out there, and then the traffic level stayed about the same, which is good. Now let's go over to compare. When we're looking to understand initial detail about traffic patterns coming into a website, we also want to look at some of their leading competitors. We want to identify relevant competitors and evaluate the competitors' insights, and then we want to learn what might be suitable for Casper's. So as I always say here internally, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. If you can see that your competitors are doing something successful, you definitely want to learn about that, and I'll leave it up to you all to decide if you want to copy that process or if you want to learn from it. And the same way, if you see a decrease, if you see somewhere that traffic dropped suddenly, we want to understand why it dropped, because that's going to be something that you don't want to do, that type of campaign. What we're going to do with competitors is I'm just going to drop down here. If you see my cursor here within the menu bar, I'm in website analysis, and there's a competitor setting. Now there's three leading ways that we're going to be able to pull competitor information through Similarweb, okay, within the Pro account. One we have is a tool here called Similar Sites, which is part of Similarweb. Similar Sites contains a list of domains that are considered similar to the analyzed domain. So when we click on Similar Sites, we're going to see sites that are similar to Casper.com. The list is based on Similarweb's algorithm, which includes sites with shared traffic sources, shared traffic destination, common keywords, and common links to that actual website. So here we see the Casper.com. I click on Similar Sites, and I get Similar Sites. Now when I clicked on similar sites, I got something that I felt was a little bit broad for what I was looking for. I chose to go with the option for keyword competitors because the keyword competitors contains a list of domains that will receive traffic from the same organic and paid search terms as the analyzed domain. So again, I want to get very close to Casper.com as I can here, get a very focused view. Now because online mattress sales become a very specific marketplace, I use the keyword competitor option. Let's look at the results here. We can see here that I have my list. There's two that I picked out that I liked. I chose these based on their global rank, which was similar to where Casper was. I also chose these because they're getting significant traffic from the industry, so that makes sense for me. One that I picked is a company called sleepinglikethedead.com. Okay, this is a review service for mattresses. We can see here that they're doing pretty well in traffic. And the second one I chose is another online company called mattressfirm.com. When I click on these, and I go ahead and I click on this compare button right here, what happens is it opens up a compare screen, and then from there I can go ahead and get the comparison mode. Now let's go ahead and look at the web reach. The web reach is going to show me how much traffic the company is drawing in, so we can see here how much Casper is actually drawing traffic in to their website. And there's my compare happening right there. And when I click through, we can see here that I'm going to be able to compare the traffic patterns, not just for Casper, but also for all three, for Sleep Like the Dead and mattressfirm.com. Okay, now let's just take a quick look again, a health check, and I want to be able to look at this analysis and see what's happening. I can see that Casper is doing much stronger than the others, but there's a couple things here that are concerning for me from Casper as far as an up-and-coming competitor. One, I see that these two competitors are relatively staying in the same form or the same trend line that I have as Casper. I had that spike, if you recall, we talked about that for social in August, and we can drill down and look at that. But we can see here that over time, my increase is also similar to their increase. The other thing that I found very interesting is what's happened to them right here at the end, that the two of them are just staying extremely consistent. Next, I want to go ahead and I want to look at the engagement. Now, looking at the engagement can tell me so much information about these websites. So what you'll see here is you'll see here with the engagement, we have here the monthly visits, average visit duration, page visits, and the bounce rate for each. And then what we've done is we've added the little trophy figure symbol with bold font. That's showing who is the winner in each one. So we're going to be looking at this when we look at industry analysis, but obviously it's interesting to see that although the Casper's monthly traffic was more than 50% higher than that of the others, okay, like Sleep Like the Dead, we can see that the average visit duration, page visits, are significantly different for mattressfirm.com. So here we have somebody that has the lowest amount of traffic, but they're having more visit duration, page visits, and bounce rate. Now from our side, it's always very interesting to look at this type of data because we want to understand, again, who's running this analysis and what the insight is going to be who the insight is going to be valuable for. If you're trying to just work on how to get more traffic to your website, then obviously we want to focus on how other sites are driving their traffic, regardless of the engagement stats. If you're trying to decrease the bounce rate, then we want to look at others. So in this case, I looked at this and I said, well, wait a minute, why is one company have such a lower bounce rate than the others? Not only was that interesting by clicking the bounce rate button, but also what I see here is I see at a certain point, we see here that from September, October, we see that mattressfirm.com not only was leading the process, but they also dropped their bounce rate significantly. So this is definitely something that I do want to look into much further and understand how I can maybe copy that process. Taking a look at traffic sources in my compare mode, okay, what I want to do is it's going to shed some light on what the digital strategy is for these companies. Now keep in mind, the colors are proportional. So in other words, all of the blues, the Caspers, that equals 100%. Okay, so we're not looking at traffic here, we're looking at proportional distribution for traffic share. The chart shows the inbound traffic for multiple traffic channels. Casper.com has high direct traffic, which we can most likely say that that's coming from offline advertising. It's coming from different campaigns, but it's not coming from the online tools that would mark the traffic that would be coming in from referrals, organic, social, paid, etc. Let's drill down and understand a little bit more. So this page, which I think everyone should definitely be familiar with, if you're not, reach out to your account manager. This is probably one of the most valuable pages, if you ask me, within the account. Here I've taken the search option, and I'm looking at the comparison. Internally, we like to call this the battlefield. Okay, I'm looking at the top search words that were coming in from these three websites, and I can see here, if I look at the top list, I'm going to see where I'm getting a lot of blue. And I can look at the top and I can see here that although the Casper was getting a lot of traffic, but again, most of that was from direct, if they really want to increase on their organic search, which we're looking in search, the organic or the paid, I can see here that I need more blue. So there's a few things that I'm going to do here. One is I think that Casper definitely needs to optimize for some of these words. Okay, Casper needs to know to look for more optimization. They need to get into search engine. Okay, this is totally important. Look at the insight that I got here. I'm actually able to understand how mattressfirm.com is capitalizing on a misspelling for mattress. Something that very easily every mattress company, online mattress company, could be doing, yet they're gaining 100% of that traffic.
If we do want to go ahead and take this data and we will want to go ahead and benchmark it, what's the best way to do it? Now, we looked at one way, and one way was to say, all right, I'm going to look at the competitors in the marketplace. The other way, and I just want to clarify, we're talking about data, okay? I'm not talking about insights, personal insights, experience, talking to a leader in the industry. We're basing all of this process here is looking at data. Obviously, Similarweb, everything is data-driven here. So we want to look at a tool called industry analysis, okay, which is fantastic. Industry analysis, what it lets me do is it provides insights about industry traffic, trends, leaders in the industry, up-and-coming players, traffic sources, etc. Now, if you'll notice within industry analysis, which is right here in our menu bar, we had 250 categories listed, okay? Not bad. We have 200 categories, 250 categories listed. And then also another option that you can have is we can create a new category for mattress retailers. And that's under custom categories. Our industries are constantly expanding and innovating. If you have insights about industries, if you feel that a certain website is listed in the wrong industry, etc., that's a great option for you to go ahead and drop a note to our support team who will investigate. You will not be the only one. It happens all the time. Definitely we're working with the community to provide the best results for the community. So getting that insight is going to be really important. Here what we're doing is we're going to take a look at the category of shopping and the subcategory of furniture. Okay, and we want to gain the industry average for desktop and mobile web, as well as industry trends, what's going on in the last couple months. So one thing that's important for me is to see here that we looked before, and if I recall, it was about 50-50 for Casper.com. It was 45-55, and we can see that the industry average is also about the same. So you always want to try to optimize for more mobile, right, which is where the world internet is trending. But still, we can see that within the industry, they're relatively similar. We can also look at the overall trend. And we can see here that as an industry, okay, the trend is up month over month, 3.27%. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the traffic, and let's hit that back on that bounce rate and where we actually stand. If you recall, the Casper bounce rate was 53%. Okay, here we can see the industry bounce rate is coming in at 36.6%, significantly lower. So there's definitely something to be learned from here for Casper. We can also look at this again when we're looking at this benchmarking. We want to look at this by day, by week, by month. I probably want to go ahead and start with the month and then slowly drill back and look down at the day and find out the specific areas that I might have a higher or lower bounce rate. Generally, you're going to see trend in traffic change happen over the weekends. There's generally a small spike, and also with the bounce rate, generally things stay pretty much proportional. If we look at the industry benchmarking overall, and we're looking at the traffic share, okay, what I want to do is we can also see the cumulative, and we can also see the broken down for the last couple months. Okay, and I can see here from the cumulative side that Casper's had a higher direct. Okay, they're also organic was lower, and I can understand here how I'm benchmarking against the industry. Let's go ahead and pull everything together and look at the insights. Okay, so if we're looking at the last 3 months, let's see what we can learn. We can learn here, this is a chart that just I pulled together from the data, okay? We can learn here that what I want to do is I want to compare the industry benchmark with Sleep Like the Dead, MattressFirm.com, and Casper. And I can see here, if I'm looking for my winners for each one, I can see that again, we talked about this, that although the Casper has that high traffic mark, we can see that they're not winning on anything across the board. It's interesting also to see that this company, MattressFirm.com, is winning with mobile traffic, higher mobile traffic percentage, very strong. Average visit duration, okay, again, lower than the industry average, but the strongest of the three. Okay, pages per visit, again, lower than the industry average, but the stronger of the three. And then the bounce rate, which was considerably lower than the other, considerably lower considering the three competitors. Okay, this is definitely going to be an area that I want to be concerned with. Okay, and I want to understand more about this competitor. For Casper.com, this is an up-and-coming competitor to learn from and also to watch out for. Let's just cover real quick what we learned in the session. Okay. So we spent the beginning of the session, we talked about, don't forget that when you're running an analysis, always first check the external tools. Don't run quickly and only look at the data. Take a look at the website. Look at Google. Look at Crunchbase. Familiarize yourself with the website's goal. What is the website trying to achieve? Number 2, there's 3 steps to the effective website analysis, our killer analysis. We're going to analyze. So we're going to look at one website. We're going to do that health check. Discover the site reach, engagement, traffic sources. 2, compare the website with competitors. Now again, you have 2 options here. You have keyword competitor and you have similar sites. If similar sites is not focused enough for your needs, use keyword competitors. Okay, it's a great, great tool. The third one is then we want to benchmark, and we just want to see where we stand within the industry overall. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over some of the questions, and then we're also going to pop up a survey. The survey is super, super important for us with all these sessions that we lead. It really lets us know how to set up the best sessions for everyone in the future. So fill that out. Okay. Let's go over some of the questions here, and I'm also here again with Galia, who is the Customer Success Manager. I've also added Galia's email here to the bottom. So we're here to help out with questions. Just one quick, kind of shout out to the support team. Our support team works hard to respond as fast as possible, escalate, etc. You also have contact here with Galia. We want to see that our customers are using Similarweb really as often as possible, and then it's also making, obviously, an impact with your business decisions. So reach out to us if you want to go over any of these questions with us directly on the phone if something wasn't clear. Okay. Let's go over a few of the questions that we got. so far. So I have one question here from Itak that says the compare button allows for 5 sites to compare simultaneously. What if I want to compare 10 sites at once? So if you recall, we had the custom categories option. Okay, custom categories. Let's just open it up here. Bear with me here. Let's open up custom categories. I'm going to go back to industry analysis. And I have here new category. Okay, and right here I'm going to name my category. I'm going to enter the websites that I want. I can have up to 100 websites. And then I run that comparison on those websites, which includes all of the engagement stats. So if we look here, when I look at all categories, the first one shows me, this is the list of 250 at the bottom. At the top, I have my list of custom categories that I've created, one of which was mattresses, okay? And I have my 3 companies that I put into the mattress, and I can always edit this, add companies, take them away. Okay, so thanks for that question. Next question. For me, that's more or less a wrap-up on my side. This has been a great to get everybody to survey. Make sure you fill out the surveys. Are totally important for us. Definitely more important for us for learning for the future. This is, you have my email address, you have Dahlia's email address. But definitely thank you all for joining. We're going to be doing more and more of these quick educational sessions in the future, so we look forward to staying in touch. And enjoy using Similarweb and continue with the data. Bye, everybody.